All right, Matt, this is a fun fight at 170 pounds because of one thing. The Dirty Bird is coming back to the octagon, and he's taking names, and we've got Tim Means taking on Daniel Rodriguez. Matt, Daniel Rodriguez has a very good record. I mean, he really does, and if you look at it, the total body of work, I don't think it really paints a complete picture. This is a guy who's 10-1, and of those wins, 9 of them by finish, but this is a guy that, just like me right now, he crushes cans. In his last fight, he beat a guy who was 15-26. It means absolutely nothing. He beat Justin Baseman. Justin Baseman, not a great record either, but I just want to throw that out there because it's a recognizable name. But this is a guy that came in, and Daniel Rodriguez competed on Contender Series very recently, got a win there by unanimous decision. It was 30-27 and 2 29-28. And he's looked good, and in his fights, you can tell a very kickboxing-heavy offense. He can certainly finish off the fights by submission, but definitely sets it up with a very good striking arsenal. The problem is he's taking on Tim Means, and while Tim Means' record lately leaves more to be desired, this is a guy that has a performance of the night and fight of the night style, and he's been there and done that against some of the better competition in the UFC. Matt, what do you have on this fight, and Tim Means in particular?
Tim Means has Muay Thai for days. If you really look at his style, it's a lot of low calf. A lot of people like to credit Benson Henderson as one of the first guys to implement that low calf kick. Tim Means is right there with him. He was one of the early adopters of it, and he still has one of the better calf kicks today. Really good forward pressure, uses his elbows a lot. He kind of reminds me of a little bit, he fights a lot like Alan Jobin. Very Muay Thai heavy. If the fight goes to the ground, though, Tim Means actually has really good head and arm chokes. He's well versed enough on the ground that more than likely he's going to go for ground and pound, but if you give him a limb, if you give him a neck, if you're not technical in your get-ups, he is going to exploit some sort of a weakness.
And that's the fun part of this fight, because originally it was supposed to be Tim Means versus Ramazan Ameev, and you can anticipate, the sambo and the wrestling of Ameev, the striking of Tim Means, but now all of a sudden you get a short notice Daniel Rodriguez, and it's kind of like for like. And the odds, I don't think they're totally fair. I mean, it's a tough one in your debut, taking on a battle-tested veteran like Tim Means. But they've got Rodriguez a plus 220 underdog, Means a minus 265. And listen, Daniel Rodriguez, I'm going to throw this out there. This is a guy who's trained at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. This is a guy that's trained with Cowboy Cerrone ahead of his fight with Conor McGregor. And this is a guy that's trained one-on-one and spent quite a bit of time with a tough guy who likes to smoke cigarettes and beat people up, and Joe Schilling, and I say that every time. But Daniel Rodriguez, you can't count him out. Listen, we've had debuts where I picked Michelle Pahea to beat Tristan Connolly, and I was totally wrong. I picked Alex Morono to beat Caleb Williams. That's totally wrong. I'm taking Daniel Rodriguez in this fight. I don't think it's absolutely crazy. I think this is one of those shots that you get on short notice where it's like for like and stylistically very similar. And I think they're both fresh fighters, but I think Rodriguez is going to be able to get it done in this one, just based off that kickboxing acumen and the fact I think he's going to be able to grind out a decision win. And we've seen Means, if it goes to decision, it can go squirrely.
By two wrestlers who did that. No striker's ever been able to do that. Tim Means is either getting knocked out or going to knock someone out. I don't really see there being an in-between in this fight. I do agree with you that it's no 1-for-1. That's the problem. Do you know how hard it is to go to a guy's hometown and try to beat him in New Mexico? That place that he's been repping his whole entire life. Tim Means is going to go out there and put on a Muay Thai clinic. I really do think so. Rodriguez doesn't have the cardio to last with Tim Means. I don't think he's going to have the technical stand-up skills that Means have. He might have more power, but if you don't hit the guy who you're trying to hit, and if you can't knock him out, you're not going to be able to beat Tim Means in a purely striking battle. He could win by knockout. He could land a shot. Anyone can in any fight. But more likely than not, I do see Tim Means outclassing him on the feet. He might not get the stoppage, but I do see Means winning this fight.
Matt, we'll have to see what happens. But this is a very exciting fight on a great UFC Rio Rancho card. You're not going to want to miss the rest of our predictions for UFC Rio Rancho Fighting and Picks on YouTube, Matt.